Simon, is now a good time? There's something I need to talk to you about.
Hey, what's up? If you think it's something I can help with, then I'm happy to talk.
It's about Oliver.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kate. I'm not really supposed to discuss school matters privately. I know we might be childhood friends, but I could get in trouble if people knew we were discussing that kind of thing outside of the official channels. Who's to say how the other moms might react?
I understand. I'm really sorry about this, and I hate to trouble you. But before I call the school, I thought it might be best to talk to you first, since you are his teacher and all. I know it's not normally how things are done, but please, can you make an exception just this once?
Okay, Kate, but I mean it. I really can only do this once. So what's up?
So here's the thing. Oliver recently started saying he doesn't want to go to school anymore. I've asked him so many times, but he won't tell me why.
Huh? By any chance, is that why he's been absent the last 2 days? I'm sorry. I heard you call in reporting it as an illness. Oh, I just thought he was a little under the weather.
Look, there's no kid that age who doesn't feel like taking the day off every now and then, right? So, to be totally honest with you, I did let him have one day off. But then he said he didn't want to go today either, and now he's refusing to go tomorrow too. He won't listen to anything I say. I asked him if he's having some kind of problem at school, but he won't tell me anything at all.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kate. I really thought I had a good idea of the situation in class. But based on what you told me, it sounds like there might be something going on that I don't know about.
I see. Would you mind keeping a closer eye on him for the time being? I'm so sorry to trouble you like this.
It's fine, don't sweat it. Here's what I'll do. I'll speak to some of Oliver's friends about this and see if I can find out what's going on. Don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this. I'll contact you as soon as I know anything. Don't let this get you down, okay? Let's just see how things play out and take it from there. If you pry too much when he already feels down, I think there's a chance it might make him hate school even more. And then he'll never end up coming back.
You're right. Got it. Thank you. Oh, by the way, if it seems like this is gonna drag on any longer, I'll go through the proper channels and contact the school next time. I assume they'll speak to you about it in that case, so I can only apologize in advance for any inconvenience. But you're right. For the time being, let's just see what we can find out. Thanks, Simon.
Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Is everything okay? If so, look, we've already crossed the Rubicon, so we might as well at least get to the bottom of what's going on with Oliver. Don't worry, okay? I want Oliver back in class more than anyone. Which is why I want you to know you can talk to me if you're still having problems. I want to help you.
Oh, sorry. I've been so busy I forgot to reply.
Huh? What the hell are you playing at? Your kid's skipping school and you're too busy to reply to me? I didn't know you were that kind of person.
Huh, that's funny. I was just about to say the same thing about you. Because I had no idea you'd do something like this.
Wait a second. Why are you getting mad at me all of a sudden? What did I do?
You told me the other day about why Oliver didn't want to go to school anymore, didn't you? Because he fell out with his friends and felt isolated?
Yeah, well, I mean, this kind of thing happens all the time. I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen it. But, you know, his friends said they feel bad and want to apologize. Everyone's waiting for him to come back. They even said they were going to go over to your house and try encouraging him to come back.
Yes, and they did, very kindly. But that's not the truth, is it? Because you're the one who turned him into a social pariah in class, aren't you?
Me? I'm his teacher! What the hell are you saying? You really think I'd do that to one of my own students?
Listen to me. All I'm doing is telling the truth.
The truth? Give me a break. You can't seriously be claiming... Do you think there are still teachers around who do that kind of thing? Even elementary school kids have smartphones at this day and age. Our conduct has to be flawless at all times. One wrong move, and suddenly the whole world would be talking about it on social media. Can you just calm down and think about what you're saying?
You're right. It really would be unbelievable if there was a teacher acting like that in this day and age. But believe me, I am calm. I am messaging you from a place of calmness.
No way. How could you say that? We're childhood friends, damn it! Kate, what reason could I possibly have for wanting to turn your son into the class loner?
Oh, I can think of a reason. Because you wanted to take revenge on me for turning down your marriage proposal. Because I married the guy you hated instead.
Wow, that? Seriously? Listen to me carefully. I couldn't give 1/10 of a heck about what happened back then. It was over 10 years ago. It's all water under the bridge to me now. Do you really think I still have feelings for you after all this time? I'm over you.
I didn't think so before all this, at least. That's why I gave you my phone number when I moved back to our hometown. But it would appear I made a huge mistake.
How about you calm down and stop blathering yourself? You're a worn-out old hag with a kid, for God's sakes. Who would want anything to do with you? Stop fantasizing. And what the hell does me falling out with your husband have to do with anything? Stop coming up with weird excuses to justify your lunatic behavior and start taking your meds. You're creeping me out.
Your dad's a good-for-nothing high school dropout. Your genes are worth less than dirt, and you'll never amount to anything, you miserable little worm. If you dare tell your mom about anything I say to you, you're both gonna need to start looking over your shoulders. Did I miss anything? That's what you said to Oliver in class, isn't it? Not only that, but you banned all of his classmates from speaking to him. What do you think you're doing? Are you seriously trying to take revenge on me through my son? Is this really what kind of person you are?
Wow. Just wow. I'm speechless. This is beyond ridiculous. This is just some pile of baloney you heard from Oliver. Kids are masterful liars. It comes as naturally to them as breathing. Surely you as a mother would know that. Could you please not try and turn me into some kind of monster without having a shred of evidence to back it up? You're tapped in the head. You seemed a lot wiser and more reasonable back when we were kids. Kind of disappointing seeing how you turned out.
It is exactly because I'm a mother that I know he's telling the truth. If I didn't believe my own son, what would that make me? Do you have any idea how much it hurt him to be told such horrible things? By his own school teacher? You call yourself a teacher.
God, what is it with that question? It's like some kind of freaking slogan for angry moms. I'm sick of hearing it already. Yes, actually, I do call myself a teacher. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. Make sure you remember it. Being a teacher means I spend more time with the kids throughout the year than their own parents, which is why I need you to start treating what I say with a little bit more credibility. I mean, really, you're gonna believe the word of some lying kid over a highly respected adult? Come on, which is it gonna be? Who do you believe?
I believe my son!
I see. Okay, Mommy, let me ask you a question. Where's the proof? Hold on, let's see it. If you're gonna accuse me of saying all this stuff to Oliver, then you must have proof.
I have no way of proving what you said to Oliver.
Okay, then this conversation is over. If you refuse to cease and desist, I'll report you to the school for harassment.
This conversation is not over. I might not be able to prove that you said anything to Oliver, but I can prove that you banned everyone else in the class from speaking to him.
I gotta be honest, you're really bugging me now. I have no idea what kind of proof you think you have. But if you want to report me to the school, then go right ahead. Do whatever you like.
Okay, I will. That's exactly what I'll do.
This is the perfect opportunity to tell you. So get this. Even if, for argument's sake, I did do something, you should know that I have friends in high places who will be there to protect me if I need it.
Friends in high places? A teacher? Who would protect you?
My uncle. He's on the Board of Education. If anything happens to me, he'll have my back. To put it bluntly.
So that's why you think you got free reign to do whatever you want, huh? Suddenly, everything makes sense. If that's how you want to play this, I have a little something of my own to tell you.
Huh?
It really is a coincidence about my father-in-law, don't you think?
Your father-in-law?
My husband's dad is the superintendent of the Board of Education. It would be extremely foolish of you to believe you're invincible just because your uncle happens to be a board member.
Really? By the way, about that proof. You just said you had proof?
Oh, what's this? You seem to have changed your tune. Didn't you just tell me to do what I wanted?
Quit harping on and show me the proof already! You need to understand that you don't have a hope in hell of taking me down based on the word of a few brats alone. If that's all you have. It's more than possible they could cook up some story together to try to get me fired. that kind of thing does happen, you know.
The proof is the recording of you threatening your students. Remember? You said it yourself after all, about how even elementary school kids have smartphones in this day and age.
Recording? Cell phones are forbidden in class! They're to be kept in lockers and used only at break time! I don't believe you! All students know they'll be severely reprimanded if they're caught with their phones in class. We have a very strong system of deterrence in place.
Duh, I know that. Who doesn't? Do you seriously not know that kids hide them in their pockets and sneak them into class despite having been a teacher all these years? Besides, since when did the threat of the teacher getting angry ever stop kids from breaking the rules? Most importantly, he did it to help out a friend in need.
Who was it? Who recorded me? I want a name now!
Like hell I'm telling you anything!
Shut up and give me a name! Now!
Even if you knew their name, it wouldn't protect you from what's coming. Have you even thought this through? The teacher who bullies and intimidates his own students versus the students who break the rules to protect their friend? How do you think this ends? You don't need to be a genius to figure it out. In any case, even if you don't understand, you will soon. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have nothing more to say to you. Never contact me again.
You're not going anywhere! Don't try to run away from me! I said I wanted a name! Who recorded me? You will pay for this insolence! You all will! Kate, I think I owe you an apology over what happened with Oliver. I'm truly sorry. The way things are going, it's looking like I might not be a teacher for much longer. I abused my position due to personal grievance, which is absolutely unacceptable and should never have happened. I've reflected on what I did, and I'm truly sorry. So please, will you find it in your heart to forgive me for what I did to Oliver? And Oliver himself? If he forgives me, I might still be in with a shot of salvaging things at work. Please, will you give me a chance to apologize to him in person?
I told you never to contact me again, didn't I? I'll be letting the school know you contacted me directly and not through your lawyer like you were supposed to. I will never forgive you for bullying, victimizing, intimidating, and threatening my son. A person like you should never have been allowed to become a teacher in the first place. I'll make sure you never get a chance to see Oliver again.
Please. I did this for a reason. I really did love you, Kate. Which is why I was so shocked and hurt when I found out you were marrying that high school dropout. I always thought I'd be the one to marry you. I could have made you so much happier. But then when I got down on one knee and you turned me down, my world fell apart.
Yes, Simon. I know.
You do? You finally understand? In that case, maybe you and me can finally give it a shot. I've been waiting all my life for this moment. Will you be mine, Kate?
No. I mean, I know what a despicable, hopeless waste of space you are. Did you really think I was going to say yes to your proposal? We never even dated. Never contact me again. You disgust me.
What? You got some nerve. This was all your fault to begin with.
What?
If you weren't in my life to begin with, none of this would have ever happened. I would have never developed feelings for you. I never would have proposed to you. And now this. I wouldn't be in this mess either. If you didn't exist, your son wouldn't have just happened to be a student at the school I teach at. I mean, I'm his form teacher? Is this some big cosmic joke? It was bad enough that you rejected me without having to see your husband's offspring set staring at me every day. It couldn't be more humiliating. Why can't you understand how I feel?
So you're saying this is all my fault? Good. Your absolute lack of remorse only strengthens my resolve to do what I have to do. Mark my words, you will be dealt with. There is no place for someone so deranged and bitter that they drag their personal affairs into their professional life to the extent of damaging their own students' mental health. If you're so desperate for someone to pull you out of the hole you dug, they're gonna need the mother of all shovels, and you're wasting your time with me. Oh, I know. Your uncle's on the Board of Education, isn't he? Try asking him. Oliver became incredibly emotionally unstable after Simon said all that awful stuff to him. One of his classmates noticed that his mood seemed to drop every time the teacher went over to speak to him. He was so concerned that his mom called me after school to discuss the situation. She said she thought there was a possibility that Mr. Pierce, aka Simon, was harassing him. What's more, apparently my son wasn't the only student he'd threatened. Oliver's friends, too, were told that if they told their parents about how they weren't allowed to speak to him, he'd ban everyone from speaking to them, too. After finding out the truth, me and the other moms all joined forces. They were all so kind, and each tasked their children with paying close attention to the dynamics between Simon and Oliver in class, and report back to us with anything they noticed. Everyone soon became aware that something unpleasant was happening, but even still we found it difficult to take definite action for lack of concrete evidence. Which is why I was relieved to hear one of Oliver's friends was clever enough to record Simon threatening him. Even though they knew if they were found out, they'd end up in the same situation or worse. I was moved to tears by the level of kindness and bravery doing something like that must have taken. Oliver told me everything when I gave him the news that we'd been collecting evidence and were ready to present it to the school. I've never seen him look so relieved in my life. Then, we finally made our official report to the school and Board of Education. Simon's teaching license was revoked, and he was fired on the spot. By the way, you know how he said his uncle was a board member? It was actually true. But ironically, far from making everything disappear, as he'd naively expected, he was actually angrier than anyone and vehemently demanded he receive the most severe penalty. It just goes to show, you can't expect someone to have your back when you're in the wrong just because you happen to be related to them. That man is so deluded it's disturbing. With his former bully gone and things at school having calmed down, Oliver made his long-awaited comeback. He graduated with flying colors just this year. I can't deny I was a little anxious at the time about Simon trying to get his own back against my son somehow. I thought about moving house, changing schools, and all sorts of other potential solutions. But ultimately, Oliver was dead set on graduating alongside all of his friends, and I wanted to respect that. I did start dropping him off and picking him up from school by car every day just to be safe. But even still, I'm so happy he was able to graduate at the school he was used to with the friends he loved. I was showered with thanks by the teachers at the school, as well as members of a local crime prevention organization. The other day, Oliver came up to me and said, "Mom, 2 juices and 2 ice creams, please." After which, a beautiful young lady walked in. Oliver got a girlfriend! I found myself moved to tears yet again, this time while preparing juice and ice creams. I'd prefer if you guys didn't mention what a crybaby I am to anyone, though.
Sir, I'm sorry to bother you, but I have a question. It's about the N&N company. I'm not sure about a few things. Do you have a second right now?
I don't have time right now. Can't you tell that I'm busy without asking anyway? You always call me and won't leave me alone. You've been working for how long? And you can't tell these kinds of things? If it's that important, then you can just ask someone else.
I apologize for not being able to figure things out sooner on my own. With regards to the N&N company, who else can I refer to ask questions about?
Dude, I just told you that I'm busy right now, didn't I? You really can't figure that part out on your own? You're not a child that needs to be shown everything, right? You should learn to do things on your own already.
I apologize, sir. I'll ask Mr. David for who to refer to.
What? Why would you ask David? David isn't bored like you and has things to do. Stop getting in the way of people's productivity.
I wasn't sure who else would know what to do, so I just thought of him. I'm sorry that I didn't think about it enough, sir.
Oh, whatever. Just leave it alone. I'll handle the case with N&N. You just transfer all of the documents my way. It's seriously such a pain in the ass having employees that can't do their damn job. I'm already pretty busy because the CEO sees potential in me. I can't do everything because I'm a little nobody.
Understood, sir. I apologize for causing so much trouble with you. Please, handle the case from here on out. Mr. James, can I ask what happened with the N&N case?
What? What do you mean what happened? I made sure that everything was completed while I was incredibly busy. I squeezed it all between my schedules.
Thank you so much, sir. If possible, would it be alright for you to transfer all of the orders and invoices from them?
Oh, you won't need to worry about that. I'm going to be handling the N&N company cases now.
Huh? Are you saying that I will be removed from the project?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've grown tired of your uselessness. I'll take care of it from here on out, so you just do what you can to secure another deal with a different company. Alright?
I'm not sure, sir. I was the one that secured the deal the other day with N&N Company, so if at all possible, I would like to have all responsibility to handle the case till the end.
Oh, that's not going to be possible. I already told them that we've changed the point of contact. They told me that they didn't want someone who threw away their work duties so easily. They said that they wanted someone new and didn't want to hear from you anymore.
I didn't throw away my work duties, sir!
You did pass it my way, didn't you? You should think about what it feels like when people have to pick up the pieces all the time. You just work on sales, alright, buddy?
Understood, sir. I apologize for all the inconvenience I've caused you.
You're newlywed, right? I can't see this ending well for you. I hope you work hard to not get divorced. I'm not sure if that'll be possible with how bad you are right now.
I'll do my best to make sure that doesn't happen, sir.
Your wife was really beautiful, wasn't she? You want me to pick her up for you before she dumps you?
No, sir. I vowed to be with her for the rest of my life, so I will have to pass on that offer.
Ah, look at you being straight-edged. I don't know what your wife thinks, though. Someone as useless as you. She might want to break up with you right now, even.
I pray that that's not the case. But if that is the case, then whatever happens, happens.
Uh-huh. That's a really boring take.
Mr. James, do you have a second, sir?
You again? How bored are you, always talking to me? Unlike you, I actually have stuff that I need to do.
I only need a moment of your time, sir. The change in schedule suggestions that I asked for you to consider before I submit it. It showed up in my department as suggestion accepted.
Huh? Yeah, those were my suggestions.
I knew it, sir. I only showed you so I figured that it had to be someone that took my credit. You are aware that I was the one that made the document and suggestions, correct? Why would you do such a thing? Plagiarize.
You should have made your suggestions sooner. You took too long to submit it, so it's your fault. Besides, you were basically able to make the form because of my advice. In a weird way, it was all my accomplishment. That's why I suggested it for you.
But I did ask for your advice and opinion, true. But only a small portion of my contact reflected the advice you gave me. I think that it's a little bit of a stretch to say that it was all thanks to you.
What? Are you saying that you used that list? No, right? The CEO likes me. You understand? The person who the CEO of this company likes versus the guy that's just a regular Joe Schmo. Who do you think the CEO will listen to and believe? You don't need to think that hard to figure it out.
This plan, the thing with N&N Company, I'm not sure what I did to deserve this kind of hatred to be directed towards me. Did I do something to offend you, sir?
Dude, I'm impressed that you haven't figured it out already. You can't do shit unless you have explicit orders. You don't report back anything, but you always ask me for help when I'm at least available to provide any kind of help. And then your marriage made everything worse. I can tell that you're distracted by your new life. You're not coming here to play around, you damn thief. And you realize that I, being your boss, have to clean up all the pieces for you. Do you understand? It's your fault for not being a good employee.
I really didn't mean for any of that to happen, sir. It seems that I have caused you a great amount of distress because of my attitude. I apologize. I will do whatever I can to make sure that this sort of thing does not happen again.
You really can cut the formal crap, okay? Honestly, I'd be happier if you just up and quit your job for me. If you have a problem with the way I handle my work, you just quit. I don't really think we'll have a problem with you leaving this job anyway.
I'm sorry, sir, but I just got married, like you said. I cannot quit that easily. I hope you continue to mentor me and help me with my career.
Wow. If that's what you want, then I'll make sure you don't have a reason to stay here at all. Then you can quit with no remorse, right?
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, sir.
Just keep watching. You'll understand eventually. It won't take you long to figure it out either.
Are you cooking something up for me again?
You really should watch your tone towards your boss.
I'm sorry, sir.
If I were in accounting, I would cut your salary in half immediately. You should stop trying to figure things out like some kind of detective and just wait and see what happens like a good boy. Understand? It's not like you can do anything about it anyway. Just make sure that you don't add more work for me to take care of. It's seriously so tough having an employee that I can't use. Yo, Harold! Check it out! This is your wife, right? I totally stole her from you! She says that she's completely tired of her husband. I mean, now you don't have a reason to stick around and steal our salary, right? You lost your job and your wife. What a loser!
What is this photo about, sir? Why do you have a photo like this on your phone?
Well, it's because I took the photos, of course. She's let me take whatever photo I want of her.
I see. Is the woman that you're seeing consenting to all of this?
The woman I'm seeing? What are you talking about? You probably shouldn't be saying that about your own wife. Or wait, maybe it's that you don't want to admit it's your own wife doing this kind of thing.
No, it's not really about admitting if it's my wife or not. It really isn't my wife.
What are you talking about? No matter what way you look at it, it is your wife. You really need to face reality, dude. Kinda scary.
Well, actually, my wife has a twin.
Huh? What?
Yeah, so I'm sorry to break it to you, but that person isn't my wife. I'm gonna go ahead and be the one to tell you that you stole the CEO's wife.
What? No, don't play like that!
I'm not playing around, sir. My wife has a small but noticeable freckle under her right eye. The woman in this photo doesn't have that freckle, does she?
I'm sure it's just the angle of the photo!
I don't know about the truth behind this photo, but I can tell you that if you just bring the woman and look at her in person, you'll be able to figure it out pretty quickly.
You've got to be shitting me! I didn't know about that at all!
I don't think it's something that would get brought up in our regular conversations. I didn't want people to think or treat me differently because I was family with the CEO. But you really did something that is truly wrong, didn't you, sir? I can't believe you would make a move for the CEO's wife over some kind of cheap workplace drama.
No, wait, but look, I didn't know that it was his wife!
Right, you thought it was my wife.
Exactly! So this is something that happened entirely by accident!
It was quite odd that you went for the CEO's wife. However, you really shouldn't have gone for someone's wife at all. It's not very much an accident.
I mean, let's look at it this way. If we just keep it between ourselves, then this never has to hurt anyone, right? Right, Harold?
As much as I'd love to be on board with that idea, the CEO is my brother-in-law, and the woman in that photo is my sister-in-law. So, I can't really just let my own private life run rampant like that.
Oh, don't worry about it, dude. If you just shut up about everything, nothing has to happen and no one gets hurt.
I can't believe that his wife, that he loved oh so dearly, is cheating on him. My brother-in-law will be quite shocked. Personally, I want to tell him right now exactly what is happening. I even have a photo of the act taking place right now.
Hang on, Harold! I'm sorry for trying to make a move on your wife, and I'm also sorry for taking your work and claiming it as my own, but this is something else! Please, just let this go! Okay? Look, if I'm not around, there's a whole lot of work that won't get taken care of, right?
Oh, don't worry about the work duties that will need to be picked up. You always claim to be busy while loitering around the office all the time. The small amount of deals you had claimed as your own were all stolen from your employees. We all know that you don't do shit around the office. You not being around would make things work smoother, and I can't think of a single thing that will be more difficult as a result of your absence.
Wait! People are always saying that you look so busy all the time!
Oh, that's just sarcasm, clearly. Even with regards to the N&N company deal. Your decisions about the whole project were too terrible, so I was actually asked to take over it after you leave.
What? Who said that?
The CEO of N&N himself.
The CEO?!
Well, I've always known the CEO of N&N. We've always got along well. Because you took over the case from me, replies were slow, the work grew stagnant, and the CEO had quite a few complaints to file with you. He was actually pretty damn pissed.
But
the only thing I can think of that would be annoying from your absence is... Oh, maybe that it'll be my turn to take out the trash sooner during the week.
Hang on, Harold! We're such great friends! You wouldn't want to ruin our special relationship, right?
If you want to talk about the kind of relationship we have, you shouldn't be surprised if I just told on you about everything to the CEO immediately, right?
Hang on! Seriously, wait a second! Let's sit down and talk about it first, okay? Please let me talk to you, Harold!
We really don't have anything else to talk about, sir. You just go ahead and talk to the CEO to explain the situation to him instead. You might actually be able to talk your way out of it with him. You always bragged about how you were his favorite, right? After I told the CEO about the whole affair, he called his wife and James to the office and had a three-way conversation. He bragged so much about how he was the CEO's favorite, but when it came down to talking to him, he was completely overwhelmed by the atmosphere of the whole thing. He was like a scared little puppy. There was definitely no way to talk his way out of this one. The CEO's wife was also deeply regretful of her actions. The two ended up agreeing to try to work out their relationship, and agreed to try to sue James for all the damages. Since the actual affair only lasted for a short time, he was only sued for about $10,000. But more than any of the money, he was known as the terrible man who went for the CEO's wife and succeeded. He was tired of the looks people gave him, and eventually, he quit his job after looking like he had just seen defeat and was depressed. After the whole thing and James leaving the office, I was able to work extremely efficiently. I actually was promoted to his position as manager. He was such a stressful person to deal with and just an annoying existence in my life. But I'm using him as something that someone should never do to help educate our new hires.